Now we are going to study about reproductive health. What is this reproductive health? According to World Health Organization, a total well-being in all aspects of reproduction, that is its emotional, behavioral and social aspects along with physical one, it is the reproductive health. So, well-being in all aspects of reproduction, which includes emotional, behavioral and social aspects along with the physical one. That is, definition is similar to that of health, but here the word reproduction is added, concerned with the reproductive organs with emotional, behavioral, social aspects. Okay, now what is this reproductively healthy society? Society with people having physically and functionally normal reproductive organ as well as normal emotional and behavioral interactions amongst them in all sex related aspects will become the reproductively healthy society. In India, some goals are there, and one of the social goal of India is to attain reproductive health. In India, action plans and programs are initiated at national level to improve reproductive health. This national level, it covers wider areas related to reproduction, and these programs are currently under the operation under the Reproductive and Child Health Care Program, which is called as RCH. So, what are the goals of RCH? It is to create awareness amongst the people about various aspects related to reproduction. Secondly, to provide facilities to people to understand and build up reproductive health. Third, to provide support for building up a reproductively healthy society. Fourth one, to bring about change in infant mortality rate, that means to decrease death of infants, newborn, and to decrease maternal mortality rate, that means death of mothers, as well as to reduce total infertility rate. What's the meaning of infertility? Infertility is for when the male or female is not able to reproduce. So what are the problems are there related with infertility? It should be reduced, that should be cured. So this is fourth goal for the RCH program. How can we achieve this RCH and their goals? So these goals of RCH can be achieved by, first one, by introducing sex education in schools. So it is a big responsibility of school to encourage, to provide the correct information to the young one, as well as to discourage children from believing in myths and clear the misconceptions about the sex related aspects. Through schools, proper information about the safe and hygienic sexual practices, sexually transmitted diseases and problems related to adolescence and proper information about reproductive organs should be given. So, by introducing sex education in school, some part of this goal can be achieved. Secondly, with the help of audio visual media and print media, as well as government and non-government organization should take various steps for creating the awareness. Third, by educating younger generations about what? About birth control measures, prenatal care of pregnant women and postnatal care of mother and child, as well as the importance of breastfeeding. It should be spread amongst the mothers. What's the meaning of prenatal and postnatal? Here prenatal means before birth of the baby. So prenatal care of the mother should be taken, of the pregnant woman should be taken. And what's the meaning of postnatal? That is after birth. After birth, the care of mother and child should be taken. This is for the third one. The fourth point is by developing awareness about problems arising due to uncontrolled population growth, social evils like sex abuse and crimes and to avoid them. Statutory ban on amniocentesis for the sex determination should be there. What is this amniocentesis? In the process of amniocentesis, the amniotic fluid is taken out, which consists of cells, and from the cells, by examining them, the sex of child can be determined. So this should be banned. Otherwise, in the society, if the child is female one, that female child should be killed. So in order to stop the female foeticide, statutory ban on amniocentesis is there. Next one, by creating awareness regarding child immunization program. So these are the goals of RCH program, so that there should be less problems in the reproductive health will be there. Next to that, we are going to study about the birth control. Birth control measures are those which prevent fertilization, and these are called as contraceptives. So in order to keep the population in control, these birth control measures are used, called as contraceptives. What is the function of these contraceptives? It prevents unwanted pregnancies and thereby reducing the population explosion. What are the characteristic features of ideal contraceptives? These are easily available. It should be easily available. It should be user friendly and effective in case of both male and females, and there should be least side effects. Next to that, we have to study about types of contraceptive methods. There are two types, temporary method and permanent method. We are going to study about temporary methods of contraceptives, which involves natural method, also called as safe period or rhythm period. Second one, coitus interruptus or withdrawal. Third one, lactational amenorrhea. Fourth, chemical means, that is spermicides. Next to that is mechanical means, also called as barrier method, which includes condom, diaphragm, cervical cap and walls. And third one, intrauterine devices. Sixth one, physiological devices, and some other are there which are included under other contraceptives. So we are going to see about the details of these temporary methods of contraception. First one, natural method. What is the principle of this natural method? It works on principle of avoiding chances of fertilization, that is meeting of ovum and sperm. So what it includes? This natural method include periodic abstinence and secondly withdrawal or coitus interruption. What is this periodic abstinence? It is a method in which couple can avoid or abstain coitus from day 10 to 17 of the menstrual cycle, when ovulation could be expected. As we have seen, menstrual cycle, generally ovulation takes place on 14th day of the menses, of the menstrual cycle. So avoiding coitus during that period when the ovulation is there. So before that and after that, ovum is not available for the fertilization. So avoiding that period is one of the natural method for contraception. Secondly, withdrawal or coitus interruption. What is it? In this process, male partner withdraws his penis from vagina just before the ejaculation to avoid the insemination. Some drawbacks for this method are there. That is, the pre-ejaculation fluid may contain sperm and may cause fertilization. That is the drawback of this coitus interruption. Next to that, lactational amenorrhea. What is this? During lactational period, which is about 6 months after the parturition, which is still about 6 months after the parturition, During this period, when there is intense lactation is there, menstruation is not there. So as the menstruation period is absent, menses are not there, there will be no ovulation and there will be no fertilization. But remember that chances of fertilization is absent here, but the chances of failure is more in that condition. Next to that, we have to study about mechanical means or the barrier method. This method prevents contact of sperm and ovum because of presence of some barriers, and this method is available for both male and females. We'll see which are the mechanical means. First one, mechanical mean, it is called as condom. Diagrams are shown here for the male and this for the female. These condoms are barriers made of thin rubber latex sheath. These condoms are used to cover the penis, which is just before the coitus, so that semen cannot enter into the female reproductive tract. It also prevents AIDS and sexually transmitted diseases. In case of females also, these condoms are used, but they are in the form of diaphragm, cervical caps and walls. Again, it is made up of rubber latex. So in case of females, this diaphragm, cervical caps and walls are inserted into the female reproductive tract to cover the cervix, so that there will be no contact of sperm and ovum and fertilization will be prevented. Next to that, intrauterine devices are there, which are called as IUDs. These devices are used only in case of females. Doctors or by the expert nurses, they are inserted into the uterus through vagina. Different types of IUDs are, first one, non-medicated IUDs. Examples are Leeper loops. Copper releasing IUDs are there, as well as hormone releasing IUDs are also there. We'll see non-medicated loops called as Leeper loops. This diagram is for this Leeper loops, which is a double S-shaped structure made up of plastic. What's the function of this Leeper loop? It attracts the macrophages. So these macrophages are accumulated into the uterine cavity, and these macrophages increases phagocytosis of sperms within the uterus and becomes one of the type of contraceptive. So the number of sperms will be get reduced and there will be no fertilization. Second type is called as copper releasing IUDs. What are the examples? Here it is copper T, copper 7 and multi-load 375. What is the function of this copper releasing IUDs? This copper ion released suppresses sperm motility and fertilizing capacity of sperm, and because of that there will be no fertilization. Next to that, hormone releasing IUDs. Here this is a diagram which shows here this one of the IUD. This is the female reproductive tract, and this T-like structure is shown here. This T-like structure is called as copper T, which releases copper ion and it suppresses the sperm motility and fertilization capacity of the sperm. Now we'll see this hormone releasing IUDs. This hormone releasing IUDs makes the uterus unsuitable for implantation and cervix hostile to the sperms. So again this diagram, it shows this IUD copper T is there. This is also the copper T. And these are the intrauterine devices. Next to that, physiological or the oral devices are there. These oral contraceptives is for the females only, and these are used in the form of tablets, popularly called as pills. It contains progesterone or progesterone estrogen combinations. See, one of the example of this pill is there, which is called as Saheli. But these pills have some side effects. What are the side effects of this? They produce nausea, weight gain, tenderness of breast, and slight blood loss during blood loss between the menstrual period is there. So example is mentioned here, Saheli, which is a non-steroidal pill, and it can be taken once in a week, which are sponsored by government. Okay, so this is about physiological or oral devices. Next to that, chemical means are there. In this method, chemicals like foam, tablets, jellies and creams are used by the female partner. And what is the function of these chemicals? These are introduced into the vagina. They adhere to the mucous membrane and immobilize and kill the sperms. It may cause allergic reaction. So, this method is also having chances of failure. So chemicals are used to prevent the fertilization and hence called as chemical means. Some injections or implants are there which are included in other contraceptives. So these implants are used in case of females, which are the tiny thin rod about the size of matchstick, and these implants are implanted under the skin of the upper arm. They consist of progesterone and estrogen. Their mode of action is similar to that of pills, and they prevent pregnancy for 3 to 4 years. Here see the diagram is shown here in the arm region. It is inserted. This is an implant which is inserted in the arm region here, which consists of progesterone, estrogen, and their mode of action is similar to that of pills and preventing the pregnancy for 3 to 4 years. Okay, so these are the temporary methods of contraceptives. We have studied about the natural methods of contraceptives. First one, periodic abstinence. Second, withdrawal or coitus interruption. Then we have seen about lactational amenorrhea. Then mechanical means or barrier method, which includes condoms, intrauterine devices, that is IUDs, physiological devices, pills. Then this injection or implants, it is included under other contraceptives. Then we have studied about chemical means. So note can be asked on 2 marks, or match the following type of question can be asked for 2 marks. Then we are going to study about permanent methods of contraception, which includes tubectomy and vasectomy. What are these? See, this is a diagram of male reproductive system. Here these vas deferens are cut and they are tied up. This process is called as vasectomy. So this is the surgical method which come under permanent method of contraception. Also called as sterilization method, advised in case of both male and female partners. In case of males, it is called as vasectomy, where a small part of vas deferens is removed or it is tied up. Second type is called as tubectomy. In this diagram, you can see that this part is cut and it is tied up. So, sterilization surgery in females is called as tubectomy. In tubectomy, a small part of fallopian tube is removed or it is tied up. Okay, so this is for various methods of contraception. Now we are going to study about sexually transmitted diseases. The diseases which are transmitted through unsafe sex are called as sexually transmitted diseases. Diseases or infections which are transmitted through sexual intercourse are STDs or sexually transmitted diseases, also known as venereal diseases or reproductive tract infections, RTIs. Examples mentioned are gonorrhea and syphilis. Then we are going to study about medical termination of pregnancy, which is called as MTP. It is intentional or voluntary termination of pregnancy, also called as induced abortion. What is the significance of this MTP? It has significant role in decreasing population, unwanted pregnancy, or in defective development of fetus. If development of fetus is defective, then this test called as amniocentesis is performed, and because of this amniocentesis, whatever genetic defects are there, they can be identified, and if the developing young one becomes genetically defective, having some severe defects, then before birth it can be removed. So that is called as medical termination of pregnancy in case of defective development of fetus. Legal restrictions are there because this process of amniocentesis is nowadays used for determining the sex of an individual, of the offspring, and so that if that is female, then this female foeticide is there. So in order to reduce female foeticide, legal restrictions are made. And this MTP is safe within first trimester of pregnancy only. That means within first 3 months it can be that pregnancy can be terminated. So this is about medical termination of pregnancy. Now we are going to study about infertility. What's the meaning of infertility? When the individual is not able to reproduce. That is, couple is unable to produce children in spite of unprotected sex. Problems of infertility may be there present in case of males or in case of females. The reason for infertility may be physical, may be due to diseases because of drugs, or it may be immunological one. So, the couple could be assisted to have child through certain special techniques which are commonly called as assisted reproductive techniques. These are called as ART. So we have seen that causes of or the reasons of infertility may be physical, may be congenital diseases which are present right from birth. Sometimes some immunological problems are there. Sometimes psychological problems are there. And some common physical causes in females are PCOS, that is polycystic ovary syndrome is there. Sometimes because of hormonal imbalance, because of endometriosis, and in some cases low sperm count in case of male is responsible for infertility. So as I said that ART, that is assisted reproductive technologies are there which can assist the individual to have a child. We are going to see about techniques of ART. What are these? So these methods of infertility controls includes IVFET, that is in vitro fertilization or embryo transfer. GIFT, that is gamete intrafallopian transfer. GIFT, that is zygote intrafallopian transfer. IUI, that is intrauterine insemination. ICSI, that is intracytoplasmic sperm injection. And IE, that is artificial insemination. We will see these methods. We'll see the first one, that is embryo transfer. It is popularly known as test tube baby program. In this technique, ova from the female donor and sperm from the male donor are collected, and these are induced to fertilize, which results in formation of zygote under laboratory conditions. So, under laboratory conditions outside the body, the fertilization takes place, which results in formation of zygote, and zygote develops into the embryo up to 8 cell structure, which is transferred into the fallopian tube, and further development will take place into the uterus, into the female body. That is called as embryo transfer. That means embryo is developed outside the body. Now we are going to see the next process, which include gamete intrafallopian transfer, that is GIFT. It is a transfer of ovum collected from the donor into the fallopian tube of another female who cannot produce it. So gamete is transferred, and that's why called as GIFT. Next method is artificial insemination or IUI, intrauterine insemination. In this technique, semen is collected either from husband or donor, and this is artificially introduced into the uterus of the female. It is useful in cases either the male partner, when the male partner is unable to inseminate in the female, or the males which have very low sperm count. In that cases, this artificial insemination can be done. Next process, next part is your sperm bank. As the name suggests here, sperm bank means the place where sperm can be stored, and these stored sperms can be used for insemination. Then from where these sperms can be stored, this is provided by healthy males who are called as sperm donors, and they are preserved by cryopreservation method. What is this cryopreservation method? Cryopreservation, that means sperms are preserved at very low temperature. That is for sperm bank. And the last part of the topic is adoption here. What is adoption? It is a legal process by which a couple or a single parent get legal rights, privileges and responsibility that are associated to biological child for upbringing of adopted child. So adoption means simply couple can take the responsibility of a biological child. What are the requirements for that parents, for the adoptive parents? See that this parent should be medically fit and they should be financially able to take care of adopted child. And what is the age limit? It is 21 years minimum, meaning a minimum limit of age for the adoptive parents, and there is no upper age limit for the adoption for the adoptive parents. So MCQ can be asked on this part, adoption. With this we come to the end of this topic, reproductive health, and the complete topic, reproduction in lower and higher animals.